What's going on, guys? Your boy Amazing. We're back with another video, and in today's video, guys, me going over the must invest characters, guys, that you want to be building as a new / returning player to Grand Cross. Let's hop in the video, guys, and let's discuss. Before we actually hop into the video, make sure to subscribe to your boy Amazing. We are on the road to the 40,000 subscribers, guys. If you guys haven't hit that subscribe button already, man, definitely make sure to. Your boy is 500 subscribers away from that 40,000 subscriber mark, man. So definitely make sure to subscribe, guys. And with that out of the way, let's hop in and let's go over the there's a few characters here that I want to actually discuss that you guys definitely want to be building, especially with the new year and the upcoming festival as well. We want to be building these characters so that we can progress in Grand Cross and get to where we need to be. So for the first character, guys, I'm going to be recommending that you want to be building on your account is actually going to be LR Elizabeth, guys. So if you guys that don't know, Princess Elizabeth or LR Liz is actually available right now on the Queen Elizabeth banner. So you are able to actually pull her on that banner and you can actually get her through that. One thing that I will note, though, is that she is a LR character, but they are giving out a lot of LR coins throughout the update. So you guys will be able to access her a lot easier than, you know, per se, like how it used to be for getting LRs. So for the LR Elizabeth and what she actually does, and the reason why you guys want to get her, for her actual passive here in PvE battles, allies basic stats increase by 6% up to 30% whenever the hero heals an ally. The hero's ultimate move gauge fills up by 1 orb whenever the hero uses a skill, and if the hero uses an attack skill, buffs are removed from the enemy before the skill activates. And then in all game modes, allies recovery rate increases by 20% whenever the hero heals an ally, limit of 5 times. So yeah, man, her passive is obviously very broken, guys, for pretty much all PvE content in the game. This covers all the demonic beast battles. This covers like final boss. This covers, you know, anything that you do in PvE you're going to be clearing. Even like the world tree stages, like I know people struggle with those too. Elizabeth is going to be really good. And then looking at the rest of her kit, though, guys, she does have flood AoE, which is going to be also healing allies. So it does flood damage equal to 330% of attack at the rank 3, heals HP of all allies by 50% of damage dealt, and then flood is additional damage for every percent of remaining HP on self, which is really good. And then for her second skill here, she's going to increase defense related stats by 30% up to the 100%, and then she's actually going to cleanse debuffs from allies on every single rank, and at the rank 3 gives debuff immunity as well. For her ultimate as well, guys, she's going to be able to fill ultimate move gauge by 2 orbs, heal the allies by 630% of attack at 6 out of 6, and then increase attack related stats by up to 30% at 6 out of 6 as well, which gives all your allies the 30% attack related, which is great in PvE content because that allows you to be able to, you know, make your allies do a lot more damage, especially in the harder things of the game where you're trying to clear like Nidhogg or even like Skull and Hottie. Like, she's going to be a really good character because of that, and is going to be a you know, a very nice buff for the entire team. So yeah, guys, LR Elizabeth is going to be my #1 recommendation for you guys to be building early on in the game. Even if you don't have the LR coins yet, I definitely recommend building this character, and then the moment you get enough LR coins, you get to 100, you definitely want to be making her LR. She's going to be my #1 recommendation, and because she's on the Queen Elizabeth banner right now, you guys can definitely take advantage of the fact that she's going to be available right now and able to be picked up, and then you can actually pull her from this banner and start to actually use her. So it's going to be the new legend princess. Alright, guys, so the next character that you guys definitely want to be investing in, man, is going to be the 4 Archangels Myel. So the character right here, this character is going to be a very broken character, guys, because he works in both PvP and PvE, and because of the way PvP meta is right now with the brand new Queen Elizabeth, Myel is going to be one of the best characters to be investing into, guys, because of the way he works. Myel is super good in Heroes Arena. If you guys are wondering about, you know, clearing for that, he's a really good character for that. You can pretty much use one team on Heroes Arena using Myel, and then also he's really good in PvP and all PvE content, including demonic beasts like Nidhogg, Skull and Hottie, all those other ones as well. Like, he is just great. So for you guys that don't know what Myel does, on his passive here, he's going to increase all of the heroes stats by 7% and damage dealt by 10% for each goddess ally in the battlefield. And then if all allies in the battlefield are goddesses, apply Brilliance to the Sun on allies at the start of the battle, and Brilliance to the Sun is going to be damage reduction 20% and then immune to stat decrease in PvP. That line of text right there, guys, is the most broken line of text I think in all of Grand Cross because of the way it works. Think about it like this, man. If you're facing a tier in PvP and he has that crit resistance lower in his passive, it's not going to lower Myel at all and the entire team because it applies Brilliance to the Sun on allies as well, meaning that they cannot be stat lowered either. Very broken effect. This works in Heroes Arena and also in PvP, so it's not just necessarily PvP. In a sense, it's kind of PvE as well, which is very strong, but the damage reduction regardless regardless is in PvE, and then the rest of the passive is as well. And then for his grace as well, which is going to be one of the most important things too, is it increases the hero's damage dealt by 20%. This means that Myel himself has inherent 20% damage dealt, and you can actually give that as a link to whatever character you're going to be running Myel as a link on, and they're going to be dealing 20% more damage dealt on their skills. For Myel's attack cards here, guys, he does have the single target flare effect, which is going to be damage dealt 30% for every Brilliance of the Sun effect on the allies. So this could either be 3 or 4 Brilliance of the Sun, so you could get either 90% damage dealt or you could get 120% depending on the content you're doing. So if you're doing like Demonic Beast Battle, you're going to get 4 as long as you're running 4 Goddess allies. If you're doing like, you know, PvP, you're probably going to only have 3, so you get 90%, but regardless, it's still going to be a very, very strong skill. For his second skill here, guys, he's going to inflict spike damage equal to 100% of attack and applies 1 Sunspot effect on all enemies for 2 turns. Spike is going to be ×2 critical damage increase, and then Sunspot is going to apply a damage dealt minus 20%, which gives your entire team damage reduction and can be stacked up to 3 times, which is really, really good. So Myel's AoE is great. And then moving on to the ultimate here, guys, add 6 out of 6, and, you know, scaling up for the ultimates obviously is going to change as well, but it's going to remove stances from all enemies, and that's from any ultimate move level. Applies 3 additional Sunspots for 2 turns, which inflicts Sunspot explosion damage equal to 750% of attack. This is going to be at 6 out of 6 specifically, but the Sunspot explosion is going to be damage dealt by a specific amount for every Sunspot applied to the target, which is great because the higher the dupe Myel, the stronger he is, and when you get to that 5 out of 6, 6 out of 6 mark, he's actually going to be applying gray debuff Sunspots, which means the Sunspot explosion is going to be dealing so much damage, and that actually does apply even on the hardest Demonic Beast or PvE content in the game. So yeah, man, Myel is one of those characters, guys, especially if you're going to be building LR Liz, you definitely want to build Myel, because if you have both LR Liz and Myel on your account, you can already kind of get the working of a Goddess team going, and that's going to be very, very strong for your account early on, because you're going to pretty much be able to clear a lot of the content in the game. Bearing in mind, guys, that Goddess team can clear pretty much every PvE content in this game. The only thing being like maybe a few of the you know, older Demonic Beasts, because they're not really, you know, centered around the Goddess team. You would want to mainly focus on Nidhogg and like Skull and Hati and like Bird, I guess would be the ones you would do Goddess team on. The Deer and then a little bit of Skull and Hati as well could be a little bit difficult, but other than that, those characters are going to be must builds for sure when actually building for the Goddess team, and I definitely recommend you guys build these 2 characters right now. Alright, guys, so the next character you guys definitely want to be building is going to be Myel. We're on a roll with Goddess characters, guys, but the thing is with Goddesses in the game, especially with the latest update and, you know, them releasing like LR Margaret, LR Liz, you know, Myel and all of that, guys, Goddesses are going to be the forefront of the game right now with how strong they are in the game. For Myel specifically, the main reason why Myel is such a strong character is because of his grace effect. For you guys that don't know what his grace effect does, if the hero's attack during the enemy's turn, immediately recover 30% of the damage taken, and if damaged twice or more from the skills of the same enemy in the same turn, restricts all skill effects including ultimate moves of that enemy for 2 turns. So that effect right there is one of the most broken things in Grand Cross, because you can give this character to a link on any character in the game as long as they're not another, you know, Archangel. So the fact that I can give this Myel link to, you know, pretty much any character in the game, really, even like, think about this, LR Liz that I just mentioned already, right? You know, we talked about her a little bit earlier. You could give Myel link to her. You can give it to, you know, pretty much any character, guys. You know, I can't say Myel because we just covered him, but you know, he's another Archangel. You can't run you know, Myel on him, but literally any character in the game that you guys want to be your main tanking character, Red Myel is going to be a must build, and he's used on all content in the game. The only thing he's not used in is the Deer, because of the way his grace actually affect, or not the Deer, it's the Bird, because he actually messes with the Bird's like block effect, you know, where he does the AoE on the right, on the phase 2 floor 2, right? When he does the AoE on that phase, you want to have a stance up, but Myel actually does nullify that effect that he does. So there are a few things that he can definitely mess with, but other than that, Myel is a must build character, and because of just his grace alone, not even his skills, like his skills are obviously good, and even his passive is great too, but like mainly you're using him for link, and it's because of these pretty much this sentence right here. He's just super broken, guys. So you definitely want to build Myel at the very least for his grace. Alright guys, the next character you guys definitely want to be building, man, is going to be Margaret or LR Margaret. Either or is fine. You don't necessarily have to have LR Margaret specifically, but you definitely want to have at the very least just regular Margaret. And the reason why I'm recommending you guys to build Margaret is because she is going to be a really good character when running, you know, pretty much any demonic beast battle, any PvE content, you know, in the game really. And in PvP, she's you know, a really good character now as well because of the goddess team being super meta now, right? So Margaret herself is going to be really good because she increases basic stats. If you have her LR, she's also going to increase crit chance and crit damage as well for every debuff cleansed, which is very, very strong. Other than that though, her skills did get upgraded at LR, but before LR she's still fine. She has regular charge damage on her, you know, before LR, and then after LR she's going to have crit resistance lower. And then on her buff card right here, it just got a little bit of a change where her rank 2 and her rank 3 did get increased on the multipliers a little bit. So you have like 60 and 50 for the rank 3, and then the 50 and the 40 for the rank 2. So the multipliers on the actual skills definitely did increase right there, guys, and it is pretty good for Ludo. And then for her ultimate here, she increases all damage taken on the enemies when she's LR, but before LR she's just gonna have sever and then block effect at 6 out of 6, which is really, really good stuff. So Margaret's a character that I'm gonna recommend to a lot of you guys, so that when you have the full goddess team built, you're gonna be able to clear a lot of the content in the game. And that's pretty much why I've already said, like, all the characters that I've said in this video so far have been, you know, goddess characters, because right now in the game, goddesses are the main thing that you want to be using, you know, for PvP, for PvE. Pretty much everything in the game right now is being used for goddesses as the main meta of, you know, clearing all the content, right? It's just a super strong super strong clearing team, right? So as an example, like, now that we've kind of talked about it, LR Liz, LR Margaret, Myel, and then Myel can actually be a you know, fairly good Nidhogg team, and that's just from those characters alone, right? Even Nidhogg or even Myel on field, right? I didn't mention for Myel though, but he actually does increase basic stats every time he gets hit. So every time he gets hit, he's going to increase it by 6% up to 30%, and that's going to be really good because you can combo that alongside all the other basic stat buffing effects that the goddess team is going to be giving. And so there, you know, at the very least there is that, and that teaming encompasses a lot of the PvE content in the game. All right guys, I completely forgot to mention the actual festival Queen Elizabeth that literally just came out, but she is obviously another character to mention because she does you know, really work well with the goddess characters that I've already mentioned. But also, you know, another thing that Liz does work well with is going to be 7 deadly sins and also human characters, guys. So she has that, you know, versatility where you can run her with, you know, not even just goddess characters built. Like, let's say you don't have goddesses built, but let's say you want to build like humans or 7 deadly sins characters, you can run her alongside those allies for her to get the benefit of the goddess wrath. So whenever in addition, the hero gains goddess wrath when an applicable ally uses an attack skill, and goddess wrath is going to increase Liz's attack related stats. And then when a max goddess wrath, Liz can actually remove stances and stun the target, which is going to be really, really good. So you can combo her alongside having either the goddess characters that I've mentioned already, or you can combo some 7 deadly sins characters, which a few of them that I would recommend you guys definitely build are going to be like Queen Danan, right? Because she is a character that has been used since pretty much she came out, and even after getting her relic, she's one of the best PvE characters in the game. And even in PvP, she's on the meta sins team right now, where you can actually run her alongside Lostvayne and then Transcendent Bond. So she's really, really good for that. But now I guess with the Queen Elizabeth, you would probably run her on the team now too. So I guess there is that. But yeah, Queen Dan's are great. She builds up accumulative damage, which is very, very strong, because what that means is that she gets guaranteed damage dealt and will never patience the enemy as long as she's building up enough you know, damage taken, which is great. And you know, Queen Dan is one of those characters that works really, really well with the Myel link that I mentioned earlier in the video. Myel is obviously great as a link, and it combos super well with Queen Dan because she wants to take a ton of damage to build up the you know, the 500k damage taken for her max damage dealt, which is going to be great, right? So you know, Queen Dan is one of those characters that I highly do recommend investing in if you're going to be using the Elizabeth on like a 7 deadly sins variant, right? Like if you want to run the Queen Elizabeth on another variant that's not goddess, I would recommend sins. And you know, Queen Dan is one of those characters. Another one of those characters would be Transcendent Bond, mainly because Bond is going to be buffing the entire team but Elizabeth though. Elizabeth will be benefiting from Bond, but Bond will not be benefiting from Liz. But he will be, you know, being able to lower the enemy's, you know, crit chance. He is going to give all allies HP related stats for every applicable ally on the battlefield that is part of his passive, which is going to be 7 deadly sins, fairies, or humans. And then he's going to get up to 40% damage reduction for himself, and then 20% damage reduction for any of the applicable allies that are in the extortion zone. And then obviously he's also able to attack lower the enemy, which can be very strong too. That obviously combos very well with Bond's double single target. So you'll have like his Pierce single target, his Blitz card, and then you have these Tornado Blast. You're going to combo those two cards together, and you're going to do a lot of damage with Bond. So yeah, guys, those are just some characters that I would recommend you guys build right now in the game. Let me know if you guys want to see a part 2 for just, you know, characters you want to be building in Grand Cross, the must invest for new / returning players. I hope you guys did enjoy the video, man. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe as always. If you guys want to see more videos like this, definitely let me know in the comment section below, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Peace out and have a good rest of your day, man. See you later, guys.